Hey, Big C. I think from now on I will call you Mr. Buzzkill. I would call you more irreverent names, but I am, after all, a lady. I know you remember me. I'm the fat and sassy one, Dr. Laverne, otherwise known as Mama Laverne. I can't say that I was happy to meet you, but right now we need to talk. Before you disrupted my world, I left Arizona State University and became a tenured professor at Purdue University. I was at the height of my academic career. I had a research lab and millions of dollars of grant money, and you stole those dreams from me. Diagnosis: leukemia, but further testing to be done. The doc said that maybe I had the good cancer. Good cancer, my ass. High risk. Chemo resistant. So sorry. They said there was nothing they could do. Bone marrow transplant was my only option. Even better news. I had less than a 1% chance of finding a bone marrow donor because I happened to be half Japanese and half German. Yep, I'm a rice schnitzel. But listen, Mr. Buzzkill, you did not discourage this family. When my son had his first daughter, he named her Hope for me. Because once you have hope, anything is possible. However, let me add this. Hope without action is for sissies. So I did my research. I became a proactive patient, and I applied to be a participant in a clinical trial with an experimental drug that is now FDA approved. I became a lab rat. The funny thing is, I've spent my entire life avoiding drugs. That is until you came along. Ironically, I now go for my drug run to the East Coast every 3 months. Mr. Buzzkill, the drug is not a cure, but it keeps your restraining order active. My second act began officially when I was declared in clinical complete remission in January 2015. And you, Mr. Buzzkill, were not invited to the party. I live my second act in complete love and gratitude. Every day is a precious gift to me, and I want to pay it forward. I love being here on earth, but I'm not afraid to die. And Mr. Buzzkill, you need to know that I am not afraid to live. So I asked myself, what do I want to be and do when I grow up? And what does my second act look like? First of all, I pay it forward with laughter. I never thought I'd go from being a university professor and art director to doing stand-up comedy. But there I was on stage, having performed professionally 3 times so far. And I plan on putting together a routine for cancer patients. Laughing at life is a great distraction from the pain of knowing you have cancer. During my struggle with you, Mr. Buzzkill, I looked for other distractions. My old dog, Sir Piss-a-Lot, may he rest in peace, was a great companion and a positive distraction from my cancer treatments and medical tests. Sometimes I think about getting another dog. I think I'd name her Chemo. I want one of those Mexican hairless dogs. After all, hair is overrated. Second, Mr. Buzzkill, because of my battle with you, I push to support others in my second act. When you create chaos and cause others to be frozen by their cancer diagnosis, I become their strong patient advocate. I am one of the founding members of a cancer support group with a focus on living in the here and now. It's called Living Well, otherwise known as Not Dead Yet. Thirdly, because of you, Mr. Buzzkill, my voice is louder. I've been invited to speak around the country, sharing my journey of survival with cancer patients, drug sales reps, medical personnel, and caregivers. Because of the battle that you and I have had, I've become politically active. I flew to Washington, D.C. to march on Capitol Hill, meet with congressmen and women, and lobby against you with regard to the cost of cancer drugs. I am the poster child for cancer research fundraising. Together with my family and friends at the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, hundreds of thousands of dollars have been raised in my behalf for cancer research. I share my survival story and the research that saved my life through blogging. Dr. Laverne's awesome adventure, slaying the leukemia dragon. Finally, Mr. Buzzkill, you cause me to re-examine what brings me joy every day. It is my friends who treat me like I don't have cancer. My husband, Carl, my family, and most of all, sharing the lives of my 14 grandbabies. It is my art and poetry. It is in those quiet moments that my heart and soul sing for joy, and you are nowhere to be found. Now that I think about it, you really didn't steal anything from me. My life has just taken a different path. By the way, I just had my kitchen cabinets refaced. Now this is significant. It means I plan on being around to enjoy them. There was a time I wouldn't even buy green bananas. I believe there's still more to my second act. So you see, Mr. Buzzkill, I'm looking at you when I say this. Don't mess with Mama Laverne.